Good morning, everybody. MG here. MGCovers bringing you a brand new handicapping video. The title of this video is revealing one of the biggest mistakes made in sports betting. It's simple, but it's something the majority of you have not even really thought of, haven't even processed. Before we do that, as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Love the interaction we've had here in the last week. A ton of growth in the last 30 days. Greatly appreciate it. If you're watching this video for the first time, and you want to learn about sports betting, you will get a ton of value out of subscribing to my channel. We have a lot of videos related to sports handicapping. Even if you don't become a client, I'll talk about that at the end of the video. You can get a tremendous amount of value, improve your handicapping skills, and get a lot better in sports betting. Also, if you want to follow me on social media, I'm MGCovers, cover spelled with the Z. That's on Twitter, Instagram. Again, you get a ton of value by simply following me on Instagram. I give out a lot of, I hate to use the word tips, but I guess that's what they are. And I talk a lot about sports betting, so you'll get a lot of value there just from following. So let's get right to the meat of this video. Revealing one of the biggest mistakes made in sports betting is that the large majority of you do a poor job of risk management, and you're playing way too many games and you're risking way too much money each day. So that's the biggest mistake. You're playing way too many games, and more so than that, you're risking way too many units. It's a business and you have to approach it like a business. So what you're looking at in front of you is my betting log. This is my entire betting log from January 1st through yesterday, January the 12th. You're going to look at all my plays, and we're going to talk about that and relate it to the mistake that majority of you make. So just so we're all on the same page, we understand what's going on. This right here, this is the date. This shows the team that we're playing. This right here shows the amount of juice. And if it's a money line like this game here, it will show, the money line. This shows the spread. If we're playing a spread, what the spread was. And this right here is our unit size. So one full unit would be 1. And if we're wagering less than a unit, that's reflected here. So 0.2 units. So if you're a $100 player, which means you're risking, you have $100 as your unit size, you're going to risk 0.2 units here. So that'd be 20 bucks. And of course, this right here shows whether we won or lost. And over here, this shows the results of that game, factored in with the juice and the unit size. And then this last column shows our total for that day. And then we run it cumulatively each day. We add the previous day. So this is, I guess, a running log. All right, so let's look at the first day. I'm going to show you this. UGA, Northwestern, Clemson, Georgia Southern, Kent State. And you can see we only won one game. That was a tough day, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We went 1 and 5. Now I'm sorry. Whoops, I'm adding. I think I'm going to mess something up. Yeah, I counted this one here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We went 1 and 4. Now, for a large majority of you, you would wager full units. And what I mean by full units, you'd risk 1 unit here, 2 units here, 3, 4, 5. So you'd have 5 total units at risk. You go 1 and 5 in essence, without factoring in juice. You're down. What would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you'd be down 3 units. Or look over here to the right. We were only down minus 0.63 units. The reason is if you look over here, we only risked 0.2 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you add 5 times 0.2, we risk a total of 1 full unit. So for me, a unit size is $1,000. So we'd risk 1,000 total. And even though it was what would be considered a bad day, it really wasn't, because we're only down 0.63 units, or minus $630. Whereas if I'd have wagered full units, we would have been down $3,000. So that's really the the correct way to do it. Now, what most people don't is you have to realize, again, this is a business. So even though we're trying to make money, we have to consider the amount of risk each day. And again, the more units you play, the more games you play, the more risk you're incurring. So what I do, the very simple thing I do, and I teach this to clients, is I'm risking no more than 1 full unit each day. So if we have, whether we have 5 plays, 6 plays, 2 plays, whatever, the worst thing that can happen to me, the absolute worst thing that can happen to me, is I can be down 1 unit. So what I've done is I've taken out eliminated one of the worst things that can happen to you in sports betting is you can have a disastrous day and get deep in the hole. And I'm going to go back and a little bit later at the end of this and sort of break it down, but let's just continue through this. You can see here, and what I want you to see is when you look at this total right here, I just keep scrolling. 0.6. Let me pull this screen back over so you guys can see all the plays here. Okay, so now minus 0.63. Had a winning run right in here for this day. Now we're at minus 0.25 units and had a winning day here. Come back to almost even. Back down again, minus 2.5. Here, negative 0.3. Have a winning day here, up 0.21 units. Over here, 1.21 units. Now, some of you watching this might say, yeah, but what happens on days when you have a big winning day, you don't get the benefits of wagering full units. What I mean by that is, so you see this little run here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We would normally be up 5 units, right? But we actually weren't. Here's what you have to understand. That doesn't hurt you. So if you're only wagering, half units or 0.2 units, and let's say you have a big day, that doesn't hurt you in the business. Profit is profit. We still made a profit. What hurts you in this business is a run like this, where you see 1, 2, 3, 4, you go in a whole 4 units, where I'm not going in the whole 4 units. I'm just losing, whatever the amount that I risked over here. And again, no more than 1 full unit per day. And that's why you can look and you can see, just starting right here from January to 3rd, negative 0.25, and then we're all the way up to 1.88 units. You don't see a lot of unit variance. And what's from a psychological perspective, it's very comforting to know each day. I already know the max amount I'm gonna lose each day. The majority of you guys, you have no clue. You don't know, because you're risking, maybe one day you have 6 plays, you're risking 6 full units. The next day you have 8 plays, you're risking 8 full units, right? So for me, I know exactly how much my potential loss is going to be each day, and I know exactly how much my potential gain is. And that's running a business, people. That's how you run a business. All right, so let's keep scrolling here. And you can see here each day, we're not playing a ton of plays. There's not really a set way to do this, but you can even see, like, looks like I wagered 0.1 units on this day with this NBA, and then I had this half unit on this college basketball game. Now here we had 2 days. I mean, two games, won both of those, so that was a full unit that got us ahead. And then now we were going into last night, we were 2.75. Had a losing day there, so now we're sitting at 2.04 units for the year to date. Now, this is absolutely mind-boggling, because when you look at, you say 2 units through January 11th, that's not impressive. But here's what you guys haven't done the math on this, okay? So if we take 2.04 units, right, that's what we made through January 11th, okay? So let's do this. That's actually dead on with what I'm trying to accomplish. In essence, I'm trying to, for the first half of a month, I'm trying to get 2.5 units. For each month, I'm trying to get to 5 units. You take 5 units times 12, that would be 60 units. 60 units in a full year is what I'm trying to accomplish. Now, if we go to, so we made 2.04 units through the first 11 days. Okay, so let's take 2.04 units and divide that by 11. Okay, so each day we are averaging, and let's do this. Let's say, just so you guys can see it, so this is going to equal that times 1,000. Okay, so what I did was, so 2.04 units is what we've made through January 11th. Now, if you take 2.04 divided by 11, we've had 11 days in a month, we are averaging 0.18 units per day gain. That's good, right? Because if you take that, yes, and if you take that times my unit size of $1,000, multiply that, so we're averaging $185 a day. That's a pretty good business that averages $185 a day, right? Okay, now if you take that 185 And let's multiply that times 365 days. At $67,690. So that's actually, that's my goal, to hit 60 units in a year. And what most of you don't realize, you would look at this on the surface and say, man, 2 units through January 11th is not that impressive. But that's actually very, very, very good. And what allows me to be able to do this is, you have to realize I'm cutting all this risk out because I'm not risking full units each day. And that's one of the things that will kill people in this business. And I'm going to kind of go off screen here to show you something. So actually, I'll be able to keep it on screen. My bad. Whoops. Hang on. Sorry about this. Okay. So let's say, just to show you how this would go down. Okay. So let's say you got 4 plays. All right. We both have 4 plays, and you go 0-4, you have a disastrous day. So you're down, let's just make it simple, you're down 4 units. Okay? There's you 0-4, you're down 4 units. If I go 0-4, I would risk 0.25 units on each of those plays, right? So if you take 0.25, which would be $250, times 4, that's $1,000. So if I go 0-4, how many units I'm going to be down? I'm going to be down 1 unit. So, out the gate, that's huge, right? You're down 4 units. I'm only down 1 unit. So let's say you come back the next day, and this really happens. It's easy to go 0-4. It happens. Or to go on a losing streak, which is what I'm going to show you here. So now you come back the next day, you got 3 good plays, you feel good about them, you miss all 3 of those. Now you're 7 in the hole. Same deal with me. I have 3 plays, I like them, I miss all those. But again, because I only have 3 plays, I'm only risking a 3rd unit. So for me, that would be 0.33 units, $333 each, for a total of 1 full unit, $1,000. We lose that. And I'm not including juice, just to make it simple. You add that to the previous loss, and there we are. Guys, this is huge. This is huge. What happened in 2 days, you're 7, if you're wagering, if your unit size is $1,000, you're $7,000 in a hole. Where you look over here, I'm $2,000 in a hole. Right? So, and then let's just, so the next day you go 3-0. Okay. So now you're -4, right? And let's say over here, I do the same thing. I go 3-0. Now I'm -1. So you're still doing it the way you're doing it. You're still 3 units in the hole. And again, like you can see, showing you this down here, you don't need to make as much money or risk as much as majority of you think that you do. And once you eliminate that risk, it is a huge psychological benefit. It's a smart way to do this business by risking no more than 1 full unit per day. And you can take any amount. So if your unit size is, say, $50, half a unit's going to be $25. 1/5 unit will be $10. So if your unit size is $50 and you have 5 plays, then you would risk $10 on each play for a total of $50. And doing it this way, you can actually have a considerably less bankroll, because you just don't need as much, because you're not risking as much each day. And you can see by doing this, you just don't need to make that much profit. Is that not amazing? You only need 0.18 units, 0.18 units each day to accumulate 67 units in a year. So very impressive. Now, hopefully sort of, get that. I know I was kind of rambling, but I had this off the top of my head and thought I would share this video this morning. But again, it's a very simple concept. Risk no more than 1 full unit per day. The worst that's going to happen to you is you're going to be down 1 full unit. And that's very easy to bounce back from, as opposed to, going in the hole 4 units. Or some of you, I have clients that are stubborn. I tell them this. They'll have 7 plays in a day, go 1-7. Now they're down 6 units in a hole. So just not a smart way to do this business. So anyway, that's it. So this is the betting log, and we'll tell you this: if you're a client or you're not a client, you have access to this. If you go to my website, MGCovers.com, if you go over to the right, you'll see it says MG's betting log. So I just updated this here. I've been kind of slack here for a few days. And this also is going to run parallel to my monitoring service, which is sportswatchmonitor.com. So that there's a day when we say, like over here, we hit the Knicks at plus 260. And if somebody says, hey, I don't believe you hit the dog at 260, you can also go to my monitoring service, sportswatchmonitor.com, and verify that. So anyway, hopefully that video provides you a lot of content. You learned a lot from it. It's just a smarter way to wager. If you would like to become a client, you can do that. There's a link in the description box. $29 a month. It gives you access to all of my power rankings for all sports, which is my lines. You get access to all the coaching videos. You can get access to all of that in addition to my plays for $49.95 per month. And if you want to have access to everything on the site, you can do that for $2.99. That is for an entire year for everything. My plays, power rankings, all of my coaching videos. So anyway, hope everybody has a great day. And remember, risk no more than one full unit per day. Peace.